Clarity doesn't predict your future, it empowers you to create it. When you get clear on who you want to be, where you want to go, and how you want to show up, you stop living by accident and start living by design. And perhaps more importantly, clarity creates peace. Clarity creates power. Clarity creates possibility. Welcome to the Personal Mastery and Growth Podcast, where we explore the keys to unlocking your full potential and living your best life. I'm your host, Jose Johnson. Whether you're looking to make a breakthrough, overcome a challenge, or simply live with greater clarity, joy, and purpose, you'll find the tools and inspirations you need right here. So let's start your journey towards personal mastery and growth right now. Welcome back to the Personal Mastery and Growth Podcast, your go-to resource for practical tips, insightful research, and inspiring stories to help you unlock your full potential. I'm your host, Jose Johnson, and I'm an expert in the field of mindfulness, mindset, and peak performance, and I am so excited to have you here with me today. And in today's episode, well, this marks the final chapter of our December Momentum series and the final episode of 2025. Now, over the past few weeks, we've talked about how to reclaim emotional clarity, how to build momentum through small wins, and how to free yourself from the expectations that drain your joy and energy. Now, in this episode, we're bringing it all together with one of the most transformative skills that you can take into 2026. Clarity. Clarity of intention. Clarity of identity. Clarity of direction. Clarity of purpose. Because while motivation comes and goes, clarity is what stays. Clarity is what guides. Clarity is what empowers. And today we're going to explore why clarity is such a powerful catalyst for success, how it shapes your thoughts and your behaviors, and how to create your own 2026 blueprint rooted in purpose, presence, and possibility. So let's get started. At the end of every year, people try to generate motivation. They say things like, I'm going to get serious next year. January 1st, that'll be my turning point. New year, new me. But motivation is a spark, not a strategy. And research consistently shows that people who succeed long term aren't the ones who feel the most excited at the beginning of the year. They're the ones who have the clearest understanding of where they want to go. Because clarity creates power. Here's why. Clarity sharpens your focus. When you know where you're going, you stop scattering your energy. Clarity activates your prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for decision-making and self-regulation. Clarity reduces stress by eliminating ambiguity, one of the brain's biggest emotional triggers. Clarity increases motivation by creating a clear target, which activates your dopamine-driven pursuit system. So in other words, you don't rise to the level of your motivation, you rise to the level of your clarity. And if you want to make 2026 your most aligned and intentional year yet, clarity is step one. But clarity isn't just about choosing goals. It's about choosing meaning, choosing direction, choosing identity. So let's break down clarity into something practical, usable, and memorable. So let's talk about the three levels of clarity. To design a powerful 2026, you need clarity on three levels. Vision clarity, that's where am I going? Identity clarity, who do I need to become? And action clarity, what small steps will move me forward? Now, each level influences the next, and together they create a roadmap that actually works, not one that falls apart by January 10th. So let's walk through each one. And we'll start with vision clarity. Where am I going? Vision clarity is not about setting rigid goals. It's about defining direction. Think of vision clarity as your North Star, a guiding point that helps you make decisions even when circumstances change. So ask yourself, who do I want to become in 2026? What does success feel like for me next year? What kind of life am I building? What do I want more of? What do I want less of? Vision isn't about perfection. Vision is about alignment. It's not, I want to achieve X. It's, I want to live in a way that makes me proud, fulfilled, and connected. Anchor your vision in feelings, values, and identity, not just achievements. Number 2, identity clarity. Who do I need to become? Now, this is where the real transformation happens. Identity clarity means deciding the kind of person you must be to bring your vision to life. Because goals don't create results. Habits, well, they really don't even completely create results. Identity creates results. Your behaviors always follow your beliefs about who you are. So ask, how does future me behave? What decisions do future me make? What boundaries does future me hold? What does future me no longer tolerate? How does future me respond to setbacks or stress? Now, identity clarity gives you a blueprint for character growth. When you choose who you want to become, your daily actions naturally shift to support that version of you. And number 3, action clarity. What small steps create momentum right now? Now, we can translate identity into behavior. This is where many people get stuck because they create too many goals, too many tasks, too many expectations. But clarity thrives on simplicity. So try using the rule of 3. Pick 3 priorities, 3 habits, 3 outcomes. Anything more? Well, that's going to create friction. You can also tap into the power of micro momentum. And that's a principle that we talked about in episode 60. Start small, start easy, start now. And don't forget that direction is greater than perfection. Forward is forward, even in micro steps. Clarity doesn't require speed, it requires alignment. So when you combine your vision, your identity, and your action clarity, you create a powerful emotional and neurologically aligned framework for success. All right, let's talk about what gets in the way of clarity. If clarity was easy, everyone would have it. But the brain, well, it has a few built-in obstacles you need to recognize. So let's look at the 5 biggest clarity blockers and how to overcome them. Block number 1 is overanalysis, aka I need the perfect plan. Overthinking creates paralysis. Perfectionism kills progress. Clarity grows through movement, not through excessive planning. So ask yourself, what's the next right step? Take that step. Then reassess. Block number 2, fear of failure. Clarity feels threatening because it makes the target real. Once you're clear, you're accountable. But here's the truth. Failure isn't the opposite of clarity. Failure is part of clarity. The more precisely you aim, the more precisely you learn. Block number 3, expectation overload. Now, this ties directly back to episode 61. When your expectations are too heavy or too rigid, they block clarity by blurring your internal compass. Release the expectations. Return to intention, because clarity thrives in openness. Block number 4, comparison. Comparison destroys clarity because it replaces your authentic vision with someone else's. You can't hear your inner voice when you're listening to everyone else's. So ask yourself, what do I want my life to feel like? And that's your compass. And block number 5, trying to do too much. Overcommitting doesn't create clarity, it creates chaos. Success comes from subtraction, not addition. Clarify what matters. Eliminate what doesn't. Hey there. Feeling stuck? Spinning your wheels? Are you ready for a breakthrough? Well, then you need to hear this because I've got something that will supercharge your growth this year, and it's called the Mindset Makeover. Now, it's my new book and course that are designed to help you upgrade the mental software that drives your success. And inside, you're going to discover the mindsets that shape every decision, every habit, and every result. And you'll learn the science-backed tools to rewire your thinking for clarity, confidence, and unstoppable momentum. So whether you're aiming higher, trying to break free from old patterns, or finally stepping into that version of yourself that you know that you're capable of becoming, well, this is your launch pad. So don't wait. Head over to josejohnson.com/mindset to grab the book, join the course, or get both together. Again, that's josejohnson.com/mindset. And remember, it is what it is, but it becomes what you make it. And with the Mindset Makeover, you can make it something extraordinary. All right, so now let's put this all into something that's a little more actionable. Here's a simple 5-step clarity blueprint that you can use to design your 2026. Grab your notebook, pause if you need to. This can be powerful. So step 1, choose your theme for 2026. One word or phrase that sets the tone for your year. Maybe it's alignment or focus, momentum, courage, freedom, expansion, balance, purpose. This theme or mantra becomes your emotional anchor. Step 2, your future you snapshot. Describe the best, most aligned version of yourself in 3 to 5 bullet points. How do they think? How do they treat themselves? What habits do they honor? How do they show up under stress? What boundaries do they protect? Future you is your blueprint, not your fantasy. Step 3, identify 3 keystone priorities. Now, these are your highest leverage focus areas. So a few examples are health, relationships, career growth, creativity, finances, spiritual alignment. Remember, you can do anything, but not everything all at once. Step 4, remove one barrier. Identify what's currently holding you back. Maybe it's a belief or a habit, a distraction, a relationship pattern, a fear, an expectation. Removing a barrier often creates more progress than simply adding a strategy. And step 5, choose 3 micro actions. Now, translate clarity into movement. Micro actions should be quick, simple, repeatable, and identity aligned. So a few examples are 2 minutes of journaling, 1 minute of intentional breathing, setting your clothes out at night, drinking water before you drink your coffee, reading 1 page of a book. Now, these actions build identity, not just productivity. So here's your challenge. For the next 7 days, write your theme for 2026 each morning. Review your future you snapshot and choose 1 micro action from your blueprint. Plus, I want you to end your day with this reflection. Did my choices today align with the person I want to become? This challenge builds identity consistency, the strongest predictor of long-term success. So as we close out this year together, I want you to remember this. Clarity doesn't predict your future. It empowers you to create it. When you get clear on who you want to be, where you want to go, and how you want to show up, you stop living by accident and start living by design. And perhaps, more importantly, clarity creates peace. Clarity creates power. Clarity creates possibility. All right, so thank you so much for being with me throughout this December Momentum series and throughout this entire year. I can't wait to share even more tools, insights, and inspirations with you in 2026. So until then, remember, it is what it is, but it becomes what you make it. So make it great. Thanks for tuning in. Before we wrap up, I just want to remind you that the information shared in this podcast is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not intended as a substitute for professional advice or treatment. While the content of this podcast is based on research and personal experience, everyone's situation is unique, and the advice given may not be applicable to all. Always consult a qualified professional before making significant changes in your life. The Personal Mastery and Growth podcast is recorded at the So Good Media Studios located in the Candy Factory, a co-working space in Lancaster, Pennsylvania.